Alright, the first thing we're going to do here is going to make this text move a little bit. So what I want to do is, let's just say I want this letter I to come in from the left hand side, pledge will drop down from the bottom, and allegiance will come sliding in on the right. So let's look how you do that. You have to animate each text layer individually because they're all coming different directions. And so we'll start with the letter I. Now, the part of the key to this is you are wanting to set what are called keyframes. Now when I highlight the word I and I hit the little dongle that drops down my options, one of my options here is transform. And you see next to the transform there's this little stopwatch. And what this is a keyframe marker. And what a keyframe is it's telling Photoshop where to be at a certain amount in time. So right now I'm 15 frames in, which is probably about right. I don't want to go have it slide the whole time because then nobody will be able to read it. So I'll go about halfway or a little less to 15 frames. And I tell Photoshop by clicking, and it's saying at this point in time, at this diamond, I want the letter I, its transform state, to be right here. And so Photoshop gets that, it's setting that keyframe. I can go back now, I'll take my cursor back to the beginning of the clip. I'll set another keyframe, but this time I'm going to take my letter I, which I have to unlock because I locked them down. I'll take my letter I and I'll go ahead and drag it off the side of the frame. So now I've told Photoshop at this keyframe, at 000, I want the transform value to be that. Now what Photoshop does, because it's smart, is it fills in the difference between the two. So as I play this, you can see it slides it in until it gets to that point, and then it just stays there. So that's how I can make that slide in from left to right. Let's do it again. We'll do it with the pledge now. Again, I'm basically wanting it to be in the same position. They all come in together. So in order to get that right, get that time right, I can drag it over, but I can also use this little arrow key so that I'm on the I. And since I'm doing it, I'm going to go ahead and set the one for pledge and the one for allegiance at the same time, because I want them all to end in this same position. So now let's animate pledge. I drag again back to the beginning. We can see my I take off, but now I'm on the pledge layer, and I want the pledge layer to go out the top. And so if I play that, now I should have I sliding and pledge coming down. And then finally, we'll go to allegiance. I already set the first keyframe, so all I need to do is go back to the beginning, make sure I'm on the allegiance layer, and drag that over to the right. And next thing you know, voila, I should have
I pledge allegiance.
And there we go. Now if I feel like that's too fast, I can always adjust it by simply dragging this little frame and say, okay, let's make that a little bit slower. Let's go up here to right around that time frame, and I'll do the same thing then with pledge. I can drag that up and it'll get a little bit slower, because again, I'm telling Photoshop I still want it in that same position, just take longer to get there. And now I should get
I pledge allegiance.
And that's a good look.
I
So
pledge
that's how you can make your text move.